dirty. How hard is it? Afternoon, out on another camp, and you'll have seen from those clips where we are. We're at the Windy Gates, and already I've had to pick rubbish up. Now I've got to admit, it's not as much as I thought, and I was anticipating picking rubbish up. But what I sort of want to be saying today is we need to be a bit more responsible. It's all right having us leave no trace. How many times do we walk past that bit of rubbish and say, oh, scruffy devils, and worse words, when actually we should maybe be bending over and picking it up. And you know what? All you YouTubers have a responsibility. You should be showing that you're doing it, and you should be shouting the message. Not just dirty devils, look at it, but right folks, this is what you need to do. Pick it up, have a rubbish bag with you, take it home with you. We've got to. This beautiful place has been ruined. I was in the Pennines last week, and it puts the Peak District to shame, because up on Bridestones there was a couple of small bits of rubbish. There was certainly no piles of poo and bog paper left, and there were no signs of people having fires. I'll talk about fires in a minute. Anyway, stop preaching, Philip. Philip's what my mum used to call me when I'd been naughty. Let's just get on and enjoy this view. Look at this. All set up, we just decided not to go with the tarp tonight. So we're in the Salamander, should be no rain, it's okay. I've got my rapide set up in there, pillar, all my stuff close by. I'm just going to get some food. Well, I'm going to get a drink first, but quite chilly actually. I've already put my layers on. It's surprising. Shane's in his Lanchan just setting up. He's got his seat out. I brought the big guns out in the seat today, so I've got the OEX lightweight seat. Bulky, it's not particularly lightweight, but it's comfy. And I knew I'd be up here and I'd have a good view. So I've just got my dandelion fire maple table out. Gonna, like I say, fly the drone a bit, which you got to do when you're on Winnats, haven't you? And then drinks and then food. All good. Weather's a bit of a disappointment. It was supposed to be, I think, something like 30% cloud, and we can see bits of blue. Certainly not been lots of sun, and it's quite chilly really. I've got all my layers on, and it's not going to be that long before I'm going to get in the bag, because it's ridiculous. We've had a couple of people walk past. In fact, yeah, literally 2 people walk past. A couple. What do I want to talk about? So this week, I've been thinking a lot about last week when I camped in the Pennines, when it's so unspoilt everywhere, and the difference between there and camping here. And I know that there will be places in the Pennines where you have the same problems, but all the time I've been wild camping, I've never had a fire
and I've thought quite strongly that we shouldn't be having fires. Now, I do have a stove, and I do have a bare flame on the stove. And I'm not saying that there's never been times when some of the fire has got to some of the grass around the outside. It's very quickly managed and put out. And I've, even knocked my stove over before and set fire to the stuff around it. But that was luckily when it was very wet ground. So it wasn't a problem, and it burnt my ground sheet, that was all. But having a fire when you're camping, I can see the attraction, I think everyone loves playing with fire. I think it's a very primeval thing. I don't know whether it's just a male thing. I think probably women do as well. But we've got to stop. I've commented to several YouTubers, people who have wild camping channels, who have been lighting fires. And I've said, we really shouldn't be showing people that we're lighting fires, because you're in a very influential position and people will copy you. And they've commented back, each and every one of them, but I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to cause any problems. And that isn't the issue. The issue is people will see you and want to copy you. Even if they copy you without a problem, other people will copy them, and the habit will become, we'll be walking around with scorched ground with some of the huge wildfires. Did I read that there have been 200 wildfires so far this year? Some very big ones. It's still not rained. The ground is still utterly parched. I think the whole of Kinder's dry. I don't think there's any water anywhere on Kinder. We're going up there next week, and we're going to struggle. So I think we've just got to say, as YouTubers, as content creators with audiences who are influenced by what we're doing, we've got to say, don't have fires. You just don't need to have a fire. You can cook perfectly acceptably with the huge range of stoves you can get. And it's lovely seeing people, in a woodland setting, getting a couple of logs and cracking them, breaking up and making fire by rubbing sticks together and all that kind of stuff. But we've just got to stop it. That's my view. I really do think we've got to show an example on this. Today I brought a bag with me, and that bag was out right at the beginning of this trail, and every bit of rubbish I have seen I have picked up. I'm amazed that there hasn't been loads, because obviously Winnats Pass is a very popular location. But we've got to start doing that as well. We've got to start, when we get to a site, going around doing a litter pick, showing people that we are doing that, making that they copy us, that they wouldn't dream of leaving bagfuls of rubbish everywhere like they do. Rant over. So I'm trying out this. Obviously it's a hat, it keeps my head warm. But I usually have my head torch around, but having it built into my hat could be really good. It's an AliExpress job. I think it was £3. So I'm not gambling a lot of money with it. Have I got anything else? So my power bank last time, I was using a 15,000 milliamp hour power bank, which was a heavy beast. Now with me using the GPS, which I'm going to be doing in the Pennines quite a lot, kind of all day, my phone was quite drained, so I charged my phone, and then I charged my camera up, and then I charged my phone again. and I had 25% left on my power bank, and I thought, you know what, that's not really big enough margin, and it wasn't a particularly stressful camp. So I've got this. This is a 30,000 milliamp hour. It's the same model. I mean, it weighs a ton, but well, I don't think that's going to run out. And it's the same Vega brand. So I've got that charging in fact I'm going to use the longer lead. So I can use my phone at the same time. You can charge multiple things. There we go. I said last time that I've not brought my radio because I can listen to BBC sounds. I've not got my time-lapse camera because I can use my phone for time-lapse. But I don't think we're going to be getting much of a sunset today. Now, we might get a nice sunrise. Whether or not I'm going to be up at, is it 20 past 4 in the morning? Sunrise 5:19. I might not be awake at 5:19, but if I am, then it's there, straight in front of me. I always used to miss the sunset and sunrise. I'd set my camera up over there thinking, well, sunset over there, so sunrise is over there. And of course it's not on the opposite side, is it? So I've got an app on my phone now which tells me where sunset and sunrise is precisely, so I know pretty much where it's going to be breaking the horizon. So yeah, we'll give that a go. I'm all ready for sleep, but it's only 7:30, which is early even by my standards. I'm going to be chatting to Shane a bit, I think, probably, and watching a bit of YouTube and TV and stuff, and maybe reading a book. Everything is going to be within the Bivvy, apart from my fuel, which is just here, and my water, which is just here. I'm not going to put my tent poles in. My boots will go here when I go to sleep. I want to experiment with closing this canopy bit. I haven't put a line on the back of this hoop today. It's fine. It's not collapsed. So I've solved that problem. I'm not going to tear the hoop at the loop at the top of the hoop because, well, I'm not going to tear it because it didn't need it. I have got to make a confession. Adrian, mountain hopper, I forgot my pegs last time and I messaged you. Or I didn't forget them. I had enough pegs to put my tarp up, which I did. And then I'd realised I'd forgotten the pegs I need to peg the bivvy into the ground. Duh. He said, can't you use some sticks? And I said, well, no, because I'm not near any trees. But it was okay, because it didn't rain, I just stayed in the bivvy. Today we got up here and Shane and I unpacked our bags completely, analysed what was in them and then repacked them, which is quite a good exercise to do. And then I started to pitch. I'd made nice new ridge line and 2 nice new guy lines for my tent poles. Got my ridge line and tent poles set up. Went to look for my tarp and I don't think I've got it, so I've left my tarp at home. But do you know what? It's for the best, because actually I don't need a tarp. It's not going to rain tonight, and even if it does, I'm in a bivvy that's waterproof. The only thing that's going to get wet is my dandelion fire maple table, my OEX chair here. That's it. Everything else is going to be inside the bivvy. So the worst possible situation is it's going to be raining tomorrow morning when I wake up. Hey ho, if it rains, it rains. You know, we're a mile and a half from where the car is, so yeah, there you go. So, unless anything incredible happens, and I can't see it really happening right away, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, that's a big tense date to leave in. Might be related to that one. And that. Oh, good grief! I feel ill. Morning. Well, the weather forecast is completely wrong. It said we were going to get a much clearer sky through the night. And I looked out at midnight and it was probably about 70% cloud cover, and it was meant to be much less than that. Now, we're at 5 o'clock in the morning and there's very few clouds in the sky, just a few horizon ones around about to make a nice sunrise, which I'm recording. It's cold. It dropped below freezing. It's 1 or 2 degrees now. Very chilly. My feet were cold. This sleeping bag struggles when it gets down to those temperatures. I managed to sleep. Not a great night's sleep, but pretty good. So, just going to get this sunrise photographed. It's quite nice, just looking, seeing the sheep come out. All the little lambs be running down the field behind me. I think it will warm up quite quickly because we'll be in direct sunlight. So when that happens, I will get breakfast underway. In this one I've got, I put some eggs in here. Of course, eggs come in a perfectly natural container that's very delicate. So I cracked 2 eggs in there. Now one of them's gone very scrambled, it's all mixed up, but the other ones, I have got a yolk in there. I put oil in first. Can we take gloves off? Yeah, it's not that bad now.
good. Account for her, but it didn't mention her business. Right, that's everything cleared. I've just been round this whole bit here and picked up all the rubbish. I haven't got very much actually, I was surprised. It's in that white bag. So I'll be going home with me. Right, so that's another lovely camp. Cold, not too cold, I slept quite well. Beautiful location. Nice steady walk back to the car, won't take us long. We're going to go into Edale, I think, and going to explore at the beginning of Grinsbrook, which might be next week's camp. Thank you so much for watching. Please add any comments below if you agree or disagree or just want to say hello. And I'll see you next week.